There are many spectacular rewards that a crate could contain. You can view this excellent selection by previewing a crate. Pakru tickets, may luck follow you.
Hurried purchases lead only to...
Eu wish to fight.
The Rimmen... Concerned about feet.
It is my...
Just keep at it, I suppose. Tharn sent Zamorak to assist you against the Euraxian officers Saulinia and her assassins. The locals say that a group matching their description passed through here a short time ago. Tharn explained that we seek a hidden Akaviri shrine. Saulinia, the assassin who murdered King Hemakar and Queen Numara. Zamorak heard that name often on the day of Euraxia's coup. Perhaps this one can finally get justice for the royal family. No. Zamorak was guarding Khamira that day. We were far from the palace. Anyway, this one learned that the local crime lord provided Saulinia with guides who know the Scar well. We must hurry if we hope to catch them. The Scar can be a treacherous place, Five Claw, even without the addition of a Nibonese assassination squad. We need to hurry, but we should also proceed with caution. The Scar was carved across the face of Anequina in the ancient past. Some say Kunzari is responsible, others that Alkosh himself marked the land with his claws. Things live in the deepest cracks and crevices that we would do well to avoid. King Hemakar saw something in Zamorak. He specifically requested this one during a visit to the Desert Wind. Zamorak set aside his studies and devotions to become the King's Claw. I pledged my life to keep the royal family safe. No. Khamira wanted to visit the Desert Wind Adeptorium. This one was tasked to guard her. So, Zamorak was not in the palace when Eurasia and her troops arrived. They were welcomed as emissaries of the Emperor. But they were lions about to pounce. A small success in an avalanche of failure. Guilt consumed Zamorak because he lived and the royal family died. So this one exiled himself from the land he loved and traveled the world. This one sought... what? Peace. Forgiveness. Something. Truthfully, Zamorak almost refused when Tharn gave the order. This one has only just reclaimed the mantle of King's Claw and was reluctant to leave Queen Khamira's side. But you needed help, and Zamorak was best suited to aid you in this endeavor. Yes, but Zamorak isn't sure if anything good will come of their meeting. When this one departed, Queen Khamira and Lord Gareshri were engaged in a heated discussion with Tharn over the risks and benefits of trusting an Imperial. Wait, that body. It's one of the assassins. They must have passed this way. More bodies. The hired guides. Saulinia's work, Zamorak thinks. There is a door behind these stones. Is this the place we seek? You have something else to do? That door. Not even all of Zamorak's strength and training can budge a magical barrier. Maybe the pedestal. The pedestal maintains the magical barrier, but Zamorak does not know how.
Find the Dragon Guard, or his blood won't be the only thing that stains my blade this day.
The assassins that came from the south. We must hurry, Five Claw. The assassins. They stalk the southern passages. We must hurry. There may be another way past this door, deeper in the complex. Whatever has been hiding behind that door for all these years can wait a little longer. We need to deal with the assassins. They are the most pressing threat. That shout we heard. Saulinia and her killers must be close. Traps. They stopped some of the assassins, but not all. We must be wary. The assassins.
You can't hide from us forever, Dragon Guard.
You couldn't find an Alfican alabaster, you Roxian dolt!
That was the Dragon Guard. We're running out of time.
Yeah.
Another maze. We must find a way to the other side.
Once I select a target, it always dies.
I trained to fight dragons. This isn't going to end the way you expect.
Now, Dragon Guard, you and your order. Oh, good. More blood.
I refuse to die near that assassin.
Maybe now the royal family can rest in peace. Thank you, Five Claw. With Saulinia dead, maybe the royal family can finally rest in peace. The Dragon God ran through that door, but he was wounded. We should help him. Zamorak. There was a heaviness on Zamorak's soul. Now it disperses like sand in the wind. Still, this one, yes. But Zamorak believed his previous life of violence caused those deaths. His studies and meditations told him this was so. Now, with Saulinia's death, Zamorak feels lighter. It feels good, but it also feels like a betrayal of the desert wind. You are right, Five Claw. Violence is never the best way to solve a problem. It only leads to grief. As the adepts say, when an enemy strikes you on the right, also offer him your left. But these musings are missed. Let us check on the Dragon Guard.
Damn assassin. She knew her stuff. I saw her fall, though. Thanks for that. After all these years, why do I suddenly have so much company? I know about the dragons. I sent word to the other sanctuaries. The last... didn't think so, but no one else has responded. Maybe... No. I know at least one other is still out there. He'll come. He has to. Take my ring. It will open the sanctuary. Find the dragon horn. You have to. Have to.
Make an Arthi guide you to the sands behind the stars. Below. That looks like Prefect Kalo. What is he doing here?
Ah, there you are. We came as soon as we could. Were you able to stop Captain Solinia and her assassins? Both dead? Solinia deserved it. Shame about the Dragon Guard, though. And yes, it took some convincing and Tharn's most diplomatic negotiation tactics, but Queen Khamira has accepted our help. Provisionally. The Cygnus Irregulars are on probation. For now. Once Queen Khamira sees us in action, I'm sure she'll come around. Until then, I wanted to make sure you are all right. Beating Solinia is no small feat. I'm sorry we lost the Dragon Guard, though. A dragon horn? Like the one at Star Haven Auditorium? Huh. Well, if you think this old relic can help, lead the way. Are these the remains of the Dragon Guard? Books and scrolls. I knew it. Knowledge is power, my friend. You'll see.
Such a small thing when compared to the dragons. Still, we should take it to Rimmen, yes?
Well, now that you have the Dragon Horn, I suppose we should get back to Rimmen and see what Queen Khamira and Chancellor Tharn want us to do next. You know, it feels good to be doing something other than trying to rein in Eurasia for a change. We're in a Dragon Guard sanctuary. Old relics like this Dragon Horn are all well and good, but I want to see if we can find any books or scrolls that can tell us something about how to fight the dragons. We need every advantage we can get. Dragon Guard, Akaviri, ancient Nord warriors. Someone battled the dragons successfully in the past. Who's to say we won't find a record of their tactics and techniques here? It certainly won't hurt to look around.
This Dragon Horn, it is different from the one at Star Haven. It has no light, no energy. An adeptorium. Zamorak stayed there after he returned to Anequina. It was attacked by a dragon. One of the old treasures of Star Haven was a dragon horn. When sounded, the dragon cried in pain. The horn faded to dust after it was used. Zamorak cannot explain it. I do not remember the large horn having a detachable small horn, but I did not examine it too closely. When this one approached the Star Haven Dragon Horn, it was like being near a great heartbeat. This horn is quiet.
I want to take another look at these books. We'll meet you back in Rimmen.
Zamorak will linger as well, to make sure the Imperials find their way back.
They would.
Happening again, I see a dragon.
Cadwell? Cadwell? What was that about a dragon? Ah, there you are. See to Cadwell, if you would. Then join us in the throne room for the War Council.
Hello? Is someone there? I appear to be back in my head. Well, my other head. The other head. This is so confusing. Wait. Things are becoming clearer now. Yes, well, there you are. Oh, so good to see you again, my friend. I saw that nasty orc necromancer, Zumog Thoom. He really is a despicable fellow. And there was a dragon, a huge, powerful, eyes as big as a house dragon. They called it Carl Grunted, means champion of the bound time. How do I know these things? Well, yes, I did. Seems the ears are as connected as the eyes. They talked about the moons, something about an eclipse and the perfect time to use the gate. I remember something about that from when I was the betrayer, but the details are hazy. My memory returns in dribs and drabs, but I'm not sure that's a good thing. If I remember anything helpful, though, I'll let you know. Where are my manners? They're waiting for you. Queen Khamira has called another war council in the throne room. Not a clue, but I know one way to find out. Head inside and see what the Cat Queen has to say.
The archives were extremely helpful once I found the appropriate documents.
Our moon singers and moon priests have always paid particular attention to detail. What did you learn?
Tharn found documents regarding an ancient agreement with the Dragon Guard. They apparently provided a weapon to use against the dragons.
This relates to the legends of Kunsari and Queen Anequina, yes?
Pardon the interruption, Queen Khamira, but that sounds like the dragon horn we found. That dragon guard didn't survive, but he gave us the Anequina dragon horn.
So this alliance I reluctantly agreed to has borne fruit.
The Cygnus Irregulars assisted, but your agent did the important work.
A weapon from the Dragon Guard. Interesting. Come, Five Claw. I want to hear your report. Agreeing to an alliance with Imperials. At least it appears this Prefect Kalo assisted you. Tell me what happened out there, Five Claw. I want to hear it from you. So that is the Dragon Horn. It is much smaller than I thought it would be, and it looks fragile. Sound it once and it will probably crumble to dust. What are we supposed to do with such a thing? As always, you have my thanks, Five Claw. Eurasia hoped to appease the dragons by assassinating the last Dragon Guard of Elsweyr. He died, but at least you acquired the Anequina dragon horn and avenged his death. Now if we only knew what to do with the damn thing. I know how a horn works, Five Claw, but this is a relic of ancient magic. I do not want to damage it before we learn the true significance of its power. I will have Tarn do more research. In the meantime, We have another matter to deal with. Cadwell's visions strike more frequently now, with more urgency. Tarn believes Zumog Thoom is close to reassembling Cadwell's dismembered body. I want you to stop him. The betrayer of legend must not be reborn. Abner Tarn checks on Cadwell regularly. Find them and see if they can tell you where Zumog Thoom hides. Meanwhile, I will consult with Gareshri. Review the Kunzari stories before we task Tarn with learning more about the Dragonhorn. A little. There was a similar relic at Starhaven Adeptorium, but I never gave it much thought. It was just there, another memento of a mostly forgotten past. The one you brought us, it bears the name of Anequina. Anequina is the name of our kingdom, the northern half of Elsweyr. It grew out of one of the 16 original prides and was named after my ancestor, Anequina Sharptongue. She was one of the ancient heroes, a member of Kunzari's Krajan. Legends and myths make up a great part of who we are, Fiveclaw. For the Khajiit, the truth of our stories is the truth, pure and simple. The return of the dragons began with the tales of Kunzari, and I expect it to end there as well. No. Kunzari and his company of heroes predate the arrival of the Akaviri and Tamriel. It was the Akaviri who gave rise to the Dragon Guard and revealed the secrets of the Dragonhorn. As I understand it, the Starhaven Dragonhorn was a gift from the ancient order of the Dragon Guard, if I remember what the adept at Starhaven once told me. I assume the same is true of the Anequina Dragonhorn. It's too bad that Dragon Guard you met did not live long enough to tell you more.
Varlet! Don't you dare attach that foot to my ankle!
This is Cadwell's longest episode yet. Perhaps I can...
That's it! Time to give you knaves what for!
These are visions. Dismembered bodies. I hate necromancy.
Who's there? Speak up! I'm about to teach these rapscallions a valuable lesson. And yes, I plan to make it hurt. Ah, jolly good. I could use a noble squire for the battle ahead. To battle ahead? Anyway, Zumog Thoom has gathered the dismembered parts of the betrayer's body. I can't allow the necromancer to put me, back together. I'm not entirely certain. It's definitely a dark, menacing cavern. Just the sort of place necromancers enjoy hanging around. Oh, here now! Stop that! Your pardon, noble squire, but I have to go kick myself in the head. I'm off to put a stop to these dastardly villains.
Tarn, can you determine where Cadwell disappeared to?
Of all the foolish, idiotic, misguided things that Cadwell has ever done, this may be the worst of them all. He fancies himself a hero, but he's given Zumog Thoom exactly what he needed. I'm no expert on necromancy, but it's obvious that our Cadwell is the last piece Zumog Thoom needs to restore the betrayer. He has all the parts of Cadwell's dismembered body, and now Cadwell has handed him the final component, his very essence. Does a soul shriven have a soul? I have no idea how the philosophy of oblivion accounts for such things, but there must be some kernel of the original Cadwell inside the one we know. It stands to reason the necromancer would need that as well. I managed to scry Cadwell's portal before it winked out. It connected to an ancient crypt in the scar, not far from the Stitches. You took your time. Let's talk. Travel never used to take this much out of me. Oh well. Now that you're here, we can begin our investigation of the crypt. The Adept and the Prefect volunteered to scout ahead. They haven't returned. That means it's up to us. We must stop Zumog Thoom from reanimating Cadwell the Betrayer. Something has prevented them from returning. I can only assume the necromancers or their undead have done them in. Where they were forestalled, we must prevail. Otherwise, Zumog Thoom and the dragons get one step closer to fulfilling their plans. Don't be a fool. Our first priority is to stop Zumog Thoom and keep him from aiding the dragons. After that, we can worry about everything else. Provided we survive, of course. Cadwell, what happened to you?
Fun old sport. They ripped it out of me. I'm afraid I bungled this one royally, old friend. I opened a portal, meant to put the villainous Zumog Thoom to the sword. He got the better of me. The necromancer stole my essence, flung it to assorted ritual sites throughout the lair. Now I'm weak and my old body is being restored. The big cat and the Imperial, they arrived shortly after I did, but they didn't fare much better. I'm not sure what Zumog Thoom did with them. I've just been standing here trying to recover enough strength to give it another go. Charge me up again? Capital idea, and I agree. We can't let the betrayer join the dragons. That reminds me of a time. No. Can't think. Too weak. I'll stand with you as long as I can. Could use a bit of a lie down, though.
I'll delay Zumog Thoom's ritual as long as I can. You take Cadwell and see if you can recover his stolen energy.
You left us to die, Kaitou.
Our blood is on your hands.
Interfere with the ritual! Flesh from your bone!
That glowing cloud. It's holding this ritual together.
Let's find the rest of me and put it back where it belongs.
Those soldiers were under my command. They died following my orders. Thank you for releasing me from that ordeal. Other than torturing me, I think it was part of a larger ritual being performed by Zumog Thoom. They were using my suffering, merging it with Cadwell's energy to... I don't know, it felt like something was feeding from me, growing stronger. Thoom's followers fell upon us the moment we entered the crypts. We never stood a chance. They dragged us in different directions and immediately began the ritual. I assume Zamorak was taken deeper into the lair.
You were never strong enough, Zamorak. I died because you were weak.
Praying to the moons won't save you, cat.
Interloper. Just more fuel for the ritual.
Zamorak failed. Again.
Welcome back, little energy. I missed you so.
Zamorak always fails the ones who count on him the most. Careful, Walker. You do not know the burden that Zamorak carries. The guilt Zamorak feels whenever he remembers those he failed. How dare you say... No. No, you are right to chide Zamorak. This one let the necromancers wield his guilt against him. Never again. The scent of death and decay is stronger through that door. Go. Stop Zumog Thoom. Zamorak.
You're a senile old fool, half-brother. How could you be so reckless? The dragons are your fault!
Your path will destroy you, Thorn.
You never know what you're missing. Oh, man, it's a spot. Did you know I used to be a High Chancellor? No, wait. No, that belongs to Abner.
Zumog Thoom is stronger than I anticipated. Or perhaps my powers have degraded more than I realized. Either way, you arrived just in time. If I had to listen to my half-sister prattle on for an instant longer, I would have chewed my own arm off. Believe me, it wasn't my intent when I opened the portal. Thoom used a siphoning ward of some sort. It redirected my spell and trapped me in that cloud of energy. They're using Cadwell's essence to power their ritual. It's rather ingenious, actually. I really have no idea. Perhaps it was an echo pulled from my deepest, most morose memories. Perhaps not. While I recover my strength, head through the southern door, I sense a culmination of magic. Zumog Thoom must be close to completing his ritual.
Five Claw. This one doesn't have much time. Nalado should not be here. This one should be prowling the sand behind the stars and preparing for the next pounce. Zumog Thoom called Nalado back. He planned to use her in a foul ritual. But dead or no, Nalado is still a soldier. His follower never stood a chance. This one sensed something. Decided to wait here a little longer. Nalado thought the cloud of energy reminded her of the strange knight adorned in cookware. This one thinks she absorbed the energy when she killed the necromancer and disrupted this part of the ritual. Return it, perhaps, though that will certainly shred this spirit form. No matter, Nalado no longer belongs in this realm. Tell Queen Khamira and Garashvi that Nalado says farewell. Now, prepare yourself, strange knight. This belongs to you.
You really think you can stop me? Neither you nor that bumbling corpse stand a chance!
Corpse? I never... I'll have you know, I'm barely water kidnapped from my mother's...
Your life is mine, outsider! Two of you can't exist in the same reality, soul-shriven! Rise and destroy my minion! Let the essence of death flow free!
my reanimation was complete. Now that I'm whole, I have a destiny to fulfill. So, cheerio! I always heard that introspection could be difficult, but meeting yourself. No one likes to discover that they were a tallow catch. Try not to hold it against me. Him and me were two sides of a dented coin. I don't think the world can handle more than one Cadwell at a time. My essence, I feel it draining away. Strange as the end approaches, so does clarity. You will try to stop him for me, won't you? Finish what I started a long, long time ago. I remember how we stopped the dragons. Kunzari and we tricked Count Grantid, used his own ambition against him, convinced him to place a portion of his power in Jode's core. Count Grantid ordered his brothers to follow suit. Once weakened, we were able to trap them in the halls of Colossus. Then the betrayer, then I killed Kunzari. I earned that name. I planned to steal the power, but Anequina's adepts... I'm still here. Khamira, she looks like Anequina. So pretty. Anequina possessed a key to a special place. That's where I learned to use portals. Luckily, they cut off my head and dismembered me before I could reach Jode's core. I guess you have to chop him up again. Tell Khamira she has the key, and look out on her.
Was a moon priest. Could that be the key to using the dragon horn?
The same notion occurred to me, Queen Khamira.
Wait, here comes Tarn and the others. Fiveclaw, talk to me. I am happy to see you and the others, Fiveclaw, and I'm eager to hear what happened. Wait, where is Cadwell? That does not bode well. The betrayer of Kunzari was a great hero who became a terrible villain. It took all the remaining champions and the moon priests of Anequina to stop him. But how does the betrayer's return help the dragons? A special place? That does not give us a lot of information to go on, Fiveclaw. Did Cadwell tell you anything else before he disappeared? The ancient legends. I have been studying them. They mention Jode's core, a vault of some kind. Kunzari tricked the demons into storing their power there, though now we know that the demons were dragons. A metaphor, yes? As for a key... Everyone, meet in the royal study. I have something to show you. Cadwell spoke of Anequina, one of Kunzari's champions. He mentioned a key. I think he meant my pendant.
Zamorak remembers. Your mother wore it before you. Does it have more than sentimental significance?
It hides me from magical detection. Mother would take my pendant in her hand and whisper, "When Kunzari smiled, Anequina asked the moons to move for him."
The Shadow Dance Temple ruins. Is that where the betrayer has gone?
I discovered as a young girl that the pendant and this ancient map interact in interesting ways. I learned the stories of Kunzari from my mother. Did I tell you she was a moon singer before she married my father? She said the pendant once belonged to Anequina. I am related to Anequina. Direct descendant, according to the moon priests. An ancient ruin. The place was once the Shadow Dance Temple, but now it is nothing but tumbled stones. Still, Cadwell indicated the pendant was the key to finding the betrayer. What else do we have to go on? Yes, from Kunzari's story. He tricked the demons into giving him their power. Then Anequina moved the moon so he could store the power in Jode's core for safekeeping. Of course, now we know the demons of the story were actually the dragons. In their weakened state, Kunzari was able to trick the dragons and trap them in the halls of Colossus. But one of his companions betrayed him, stabbed him in the back, and went to the place of the Dark Dance to steal the demon power. I think you are right, Five Claw. The betrayer must want to finish what he started in the ancient time. But the dragons also want that power. Are they working together? Either way, we need to get to the temple ruins. As we saw on the map, the ruins lie in the foothills east of the Scar, between Orcrest and the town of Hakoshe. We will meet you there.
We need to send your Cygnus irregulars to the Moongate, Prefect Kalo.
Agreed. We've been practicing in anticipation of joining forces for more than a year.
A year? But a year ago we were still enemies.
Perhaps. But I always knew we'd wind up fighting the Euraxians side by side someday.
I do not tolerate sticky.
The aqueduct brings us water for drinking, washing, and bathing. Bazdal often enjoys lounging in the cool waters during hot summer days.
A direct approach. Well, look at that. If it isn't Nayu's little hero, who'd have thought we'd meet again? In Elsweyr, of all places. You wouldn't happen to be traveling to the town of Hakoshey, would you? I'm investigating a rumor about the town's leader, Magnate Faina Darhak. Word has it that she's a descendant of the Akaviri potentate. A rather curious rumor, given that the potentate's bloodline should have been wiped out over a century ago. It's a personal matter pertaining to my grandfather's legacy. Painful as it is to say, my family's reputation depends on proving this rumor false. You wouldn't happen to be looking for work, would you? I could use a lending hand. Why don't you begin by speaking to the lady in question? The magnate should be in the town.
Dark rumors of necromancy in Elsweyr drew me out of my home to find... Oh, the smell of the sugar.
Jarl, spare a kindness for a priest of 2 moons. This one returns from warning this... bright moon.
The Argonians claim to be communing with the Hist, but Maik thinks they are just napping.
Get back, Rakaja! I won't let you have this one.
Ha! Your blood is too thin. Keep that one as a gift, Yushia, for when you're ready to drink.
Sheath your claws, Walker. This one does not want a fight, but you... I am an exile of the Ten Arzal. My... Yushiha is grateful. This caravaner she saved was not alone. Help her check on...
Khamira's waiting for you inside. If the dragon circling overhead spots us, I'll try to drive it home.
Zamorak will assist.
Yes, I'm sure your fists will make all the difference.
If there is more to this ancient temple, I do not see a way to access it. This is the right place. I can sense it. But nothing in this chamber looks like it can make the moons move, or open a path to Joan or Jode. What are we missing, Fiveclaw? And Riddlethar knows I have tried everything I can think of. I held it out, I presented it forcefully, I even shook it vigorously, but nothing happened. I do not know what else to do. My memories and the Kunzari stories, everything jumbles together. Too much research has crowded my mind. Wait, maybe... I remember one thing Mother used to say. Maybe if I repeat her words while I hold the pendant. When Anequina's blood calls, the shadow dance begins.
By the moons, you open the path.
You go ahead. Zamorak and I will deal with the dragon outside. Somehow.
Moons watch over you. Come, Fiveclaw. Let us see where this leads. Beautiful. Why was this hidden for so long? This place has guardians, it seems. But they could not stop the betrayer. Betrayer sent. He came this way. That relic. See what you can make of it, Fiveclaw. The spirits awakened. The temple recognized me. I am becoming attuned.
Sir Cadwell, you're part of Kunzari's Krajun. Why are you doing this?
I want what Kunzari hid away, and I need to move the moons to reach it. If a few cats must die along the way, what of it?
You're insane.
You talk to your new god like that? Manners!
The temple. It shows us how the betrayer became attuned. Another temple relic. Activate it for me, Five Claw. I understand. Moving the moons causes an eclipse. That opens the way to Jode's core.
It's almost a shame how Anequina's faithful keep throwing themselves at my blade. Almost.
Relic. There it is. Activate it, please. Now, Five Claw. We need to reach the temple sanctuary. Wait, my friend. Let us talk before we confront the betrayer. The ancient memories become clearer in my mind with every passing moment. We follow the same path as the heroes of legend. Kunzari, Anequina, the betrayer, they all walked these steps to reach Jode's core. I see the truth of the myths and legends. Kunzari tricked Calgrontiid into storing the might of the dragons in Jode's core. Then, the heroes of the Krajund lured them into the halls of Colossus and sealed the doors. Yes, he murdered Kunzari and then came to this temple to gain the power to move the moons and open the way to Jode's core. You see, the path only appears at the moon gate of Anequina when the moons are aligned, as in an eclipse. True, but many died before they lopped off his head. The betrayer was the greatest warrior of his day. If it comes to a battle, it will not be an easy one. We are about to enter the place where the...
Too late! The eclipse has started. I'm going to share the power of the dragons. Magnanimous!
The betrayer did something to the apparatus. The moons cannot hear my plea. No. The betrayer has set the moons in motion, and they will not answer to my song. There is nothing to stop the dragons from using the Moon Gate of Anequina to reach Jode's core. Not yet. This apparatus moves the moons, but the Moon Gate of Anequina creates the portal to Jode's core. Luckily, I sent forces there to defend it from the dragons. We will join them. But first, the memories tell me we have one more task here. Anequina's memories show me how she once used the Dragonhorn. The combat Dragonhorn you gave me. It needs to be energized, have its power restored. Activate the nearby temple relic, and I will charge the Dragonhorn. Anequina, Cadwell, John and Jode. All of it into the Dragonhorn.
A dip in cold hard is refreshing, pleasant, and I'm fit as a fig tree. Now, where's the evil me? Where is the fiend? Let me at him. I returned as soon as I could to help you give the betrayer a good thrashing. I feel tip-top, I must say. I thought it was the cozy confines of my beloved Coldharbour, but I suppose it has more to do with the destruction of my other half. Well, good show. The world is saved. That doesn't sound good. Let me think. If I concentrate, I can recall what was going through my despicable other self's mind. He wanted to make sure no one could stop the path from opening. He promised the dragons.
I am all right. Cadwell, can we use your portal to return to Raymond?
Of course, Khamira. It's ready.
The eclipse approaches, and with it the opening of the Moon Gate of Anequina. We have a short amount of time before the way to Jode's core appears. At least I am attuned, and I was able to charge the Dragonhorn. Gareshri has already gone to the Moon Gate of Anequina to take charge of the forces there. We will join him shortly. Thank you for helping with my attunement, Five Claw. With you and my ancestors beside me, we will find a way to stop the dragons. We stopped the betrayer, but not before he set the moons in motion. Soon they will align. When the eclipse occurs, the Moon Gate of Anequina will open and grant access to Jode's core, which is exactly what the dragons desire. Some, but not a lot. Luckily, we anticipated the connection to the Moon Gate and sent Gareshri ahead with whatever forces we could spare, which was not as much as I would like. The combat Dragonhorn is charged, but we still do not know its full capabilities. We must not waste its energy, so we will save it until absolutely necessary. We should make our way to the Moon Gate now. Tell our companions, it is time. Our companions left the palace to wander Rimmon and consider what is to come. Find Abner Tarn, Zamorak, and Prefect Kaitou. Cadwell too, if he is still around.
Quiet moments to meditate have been rare since Zamorak returned to Elsweyr. This one needed some time alone, especially after helping Tharn with the dragon at the Shadow Dance ruins. But you look like one who has important news, my friend. Zamorak suspected that would be our next destination. This one noticed that the moons have shifted in the sky, moving in a way that breaks their usual pattern. The betrayer's doing, yes? At least you and Queen Khamira returned from the ruins. Then we still have a chance. Zamorak has pledged his honor to Queen Khamira. He will not break that vow. This one has a purpose again, and will see it through no matter the cost. Zamorak will meet you at the Moon Gate, my friend. Queen Khamira, attuned to the lunar lattice. Zamorak never expected to see such a miracle in his lifetime. This one prays that it will be enough when we stand against the dragons. About what you would expect. Tharn used flashy spells to confuse the dragon until it finally gave up and flew away. Then, we encountered the squad of Euraxians led by a necromancer. Those Zamorak dispatched. It was the least this one could do.
Hello! Come to partake in a before-the-battle cleansing? I find it prudent to make myself pristine prior to the start of a slaughter. In my experience, the subsequent blood and gore adheres much better to a well-laundered body. The Moon Gate. I hope to wash away the memories of the betrayer, and some stenches can't be removed with soap and water. I'm sorry I made the moons move, my friend. Sorry I help the dragons. But before I became the gallantly gaunt, soul-shriven form you see today, I was the betrayer. I originally did all the terrible deeds that led us to this place. I'm rather ashamed. Dash it all. Yes, of course, that was my plan all along. Make up for my past atrocities by helping the nice cat people defeat the evil dragons, just like the hero I was before I became the betrayer. Tally-ho, then. I'll head to the Moon Gate now and meet you there. As nice as these facilities are, I miss the boiling plasm pools of Cold Harbor. Hot enough to melt the skin right off your bones. What an invigorating sensation. And your point is?
Wine used to rejuvenate me after periods of intense exertion and spellcasting. Now I can barely taste the stuff. A good thing, too. Khajiiti wine is cloyingly sweet, like drinking candied plums boiled in moon sugar. I presume you have news? The Moon Gate? A noble but futile proposition, I fear. The Khajiit should pack up and flee while they still can. Let the Alliance armies deal with this. Show them some fights are more important than deciding whose posterior best fits the Ruby Throne. No. Just pondering other options. Too much of what we're facing was the inadvertent result of my actions or the actions of my family. Dragons, Euraxians, necromancers. The responsibility falls to me, and balance must be restored. Would you stand a chance otherwise? Without my arcane and strategic insights, anything you try is destined to fail. I won't have that on my conscience. Now, allow me to finish this sickeningly sweet inebriant, one last indulgence before the end. By the way, I believe I understand the purpose of the dragon horn. After much consideration, the use and function of the ancient instrument has become clear. The Dragon Guard were clever, I'll say that for them. Theoretical knowledge isn't the same as practical experience, but I believe I understand the fundamentals of its operation. The Dragon Guard prepared a horn taken from a massive dragon and engraved it with arcane runes, giving it astonishing power. Oh yes, I'm fairly certain of that. And I found historical references indicating the Dragon Guard gifted such relics to key locations, for their protection, you see. The one you located was originally in Rimmen before it was moved to the Sanctuary. We have neither the time nor resources to move the large relic, but the small horn you brought back, it's called a combat horn, by the way, was designed to be carried into battle. Once charged with energy, its sound weakens dragons. One problem solved then. The next is sheer age. This ancient combat horn is exceedingly fragile. I'm not sure how many times we can sound the horn before it disintegrates into dust. For that reason, I suggest we save it until we absolutely need it.
quiet moments between battles. I like to spend the time catching up on my reading. History, military strategy, recipe books. My secret pleasure is a good mystery, though. And the new Investigator Veil is a real page-turner. I've been waiting for the order to move out. I sent most of the Cygnus Irregulars on ahead with Gareshri, but a small contingent remained here in case our earlier guess was wrong. I assume events in the ruins confirmed our theory? Understood. We need to defend the Moon Gate and stop the dragons from using it when it opens. Keep them from reaching Jode's core. Well, at least now we have a mission. I just hope the Khajiit can get over their aversion to working with my troops. Queen Euraxia's tyranny made the Khajiit wary. I don't blame them for that. I just want to show them that not all Imperials are tyrants, that they can trust at least a few of us. It will come, as long as we don't turn on each other first.
To once more travel the warm sands of Elsweyr.
appears everyone has arrived. Report to Prefect Kalo, Five Claw, while I confer with the Queen.
An eclipse is an eerie sight, but where are the dragons? The moons come together and the sky grows dark. Ominous, isn't it? And strangely beautiful. Where are the dragons, though? And the remaining Euraxians? I assumed they would have started their push for the Moongate by now. As ready as we can be. The Khajiit militia and the Cygnus Irregulars have taken defensive positions along the path up to the Moongate. And whatever siege weapons we could get our hands on are set to repel the dragons. Not a chance. We only hope to slow them enough to give Tharn and Khamira the time they need to stop the Moongate from opening. Or find a way to shut it if all else fails. If the dragons don't reach Jode's core, we win. Wait. What's that noise? Dragons! Go join Queen Khamira. I'll take charge down here.
Zamarak will go. Get those fires out and ready the ballistic. Move it, soldiers.
Time for reckless audacity and daring do.
Euraxians. The wall has been breached.
Kill the cats and the traitors! Spread out!
Out there! More Euraxians! Here they come! Prepare yourself! More soldiers. Take them down.
I do enjoy cutting blackguards down to size. Damn it!
The path is clear. We need to reach Queen Khamira. No! Stay with me, old master. Garesh Rhi still breathes, but his injuries are serious. He needs a healer. In the meantime, Zamarak knows what he must do. With Garesh Rhi injured, someone else must take command of this position. Make sure the Euraxians and the dragons encounter enough resistance to slow them down. That task now falls to Zamarak. Yes, my friend. This is Zamarak's chance to finally atone for his past mistakes. Wait, what is this? The dragon horn. This one doesn't know why Garesh Rhi was carrying this. But you must take it and reach the Moongate. Queen Khamira, go. Now, Five Claw.
I've got these hooligans all proud. Let's get to Abner before the moon's behind.
The ancient gate. The lattice opens a path to Jode's core. But how did you get the dragon horn? Where's Garishri? And why are the sounds of battle so close? Did the Euraxians overrun our defenses? Garishri? Hurt? And the Euraxians behind our defenses? This is not good. Not good at all. Well, we still have the dragon horn. At least until the power runs out, or the fragile relic falls apart. I just wish the moons would move for me. The power, yes, but not the knowledge and experience. I will continue to try to move the moons and close the gate, but you will need to keep the Euraxians from taking this position. I am counting on you, Five Claw. and bring the dragon horn.
Khamira, wait! When I awoke this morning, traveling to the plain of Jode wasn't on my
Five Claw, we stand on the sacred plain of Jode. The dragons went down into the processional. They seek to breach Jode's core. From the memories I absorbed at the Shadow Dance Temple, Anequina and the Moon Priests came here to honor the moons and set them on their way after their sacred joining. This is also where she helped Kunzari hide the dragon's power. Here, on the plain of Jode, the memories become clearer with every passing moment. Kunzari was able to use Calgronti's own greed against him. The dragon sought the power of Jode's core from the beginning, but Kunzari offered him even more. He offered a way to combine the natural power of Jode's core with the mystic might of his loyal dragons. Calgronti's greed was his undoing. Now, he finally has an opportunity to steal all the stored energy for himself. We must stop him!
Mulamnir, the vermin still pester us. Devour them.
As you say, my brother.
Avoid Mulamnir as best you can.
Go no further, vermin!
Jode's core is close. I can feel it.
And Jode's core. Are you ready for this, Khamira?
If we must fight, Five Claw, you must be our sword and shield. Both Tarn and I need to preserve what strength we still have for the final battle.
Calgronteed is absorbing Jode's core. As long as the moons remain aligned, the power flowing through him is unimaginable.
Get me to that platform, Tarn. I can separate the moons using the altars. You must deal with Mulamnir, Five Claw. I will divert whatever energy I can into the Dragonhorn, but use it sparingly.
You dare to face me, morsel? sequel of Akatosh!
The moons. I need to finish the ritual. John and Jode, hear me.
The power! It belongs to me!
Separate and resume the plans.
You did it, Khamira! You ended the
horn!
But that means...
No!
The moon gate is closed. We are trapped, yes. Khamira is dead, and Calgrontit has been defeated.
Oh, hello! You always find things in the last place you know.
Calgrontit, I wonder. I'm actually pleased to see you, Cadwell. Come, Khamira. Your people await their queen.
Thank you, my friends, for everything.
Queen Khamira, have you been injured?
I am fine, just tired. But look, the moons are no longer aligned. Tell me about the dragons, the Euraxians. What is the state of our forces?
Our scouts tell us that most of the Euraxians and dragons fled when the moons parted. Our own troops have not returned, but the Main has sent an envoy.
An envoy from the Main? If you'll excuse me, I have other business to attend to.
We did it, Five Claw! We put the moons back in motion and defeated both Mulamnir and Calgrontit. I want to thank you for everything. Elsweyr is safer today because of you. Just being on the plane of Jode clarified the memories I inherited at the Shadow Dance Temple. I saw the ritual in my mind and performed the actions. Oh, too bad the Dragonhorn did not survive. At least it lasted long enough to banish Calgrontit. He did grow larger with every infusion of power he absorbed, but the horn dislodged him from Jode's core, which allowed me to finish the ritual and end the eclipse. After that... a concern for another day, yes? I cannot be named queen without the Main's blessing. That, however, is my worry. For now, you should rest. We must honor our fallen and learn the fate of our troops at the Moongate. And after that, we will celebrate a new dawn for Elsweyr. We have accomplished much, my friend. We overthrew the tyrant, Eurasia Tarn, defeated Zumog Thoom and the Betrayer, even killed at least 2 dragons and made the moons move in the sky. If only I could shake this sense of impending doom. Nothing specific, not really. I guess this sense of worry will stay with me until I know the fate of Gareshri, Zamorak, even Prefect Kaitou. I would return to the Moongate, but other matters require my attention. Namely, the envoy of the Main. That is just it. I have no idea. Moons, my head pounds. The effort I exerted at Jode's core was not without a cost. Five Claw, could I convince you to determine the fate of my soldiers and our friends? I appreciate your assistance, my friend. Find out what happened to Gareshri and the others, then bring word back to me. Meanwhile, I will try to find a few moments to rest before I meet with the main's envoy or worry about the other dragons. Far from it. But without Calgrontiid and Mulamnir to lead them, they are solitary beasts without a grand plan. Colossal, dangerous beasts to be sure, but not the overwhelming force they were under their dragon leaders. There is little difference between myth and history for the Khajiit Five-Claw. Whether Eurasia discovered the Kunzari stories and that led them to the betrayer's head, or Zumog Thoom reanimated the head and then learned the tales, who can say?
It's good to see you, Five-Claw. We only just returned and I have yet to report to the Queen. Khamira is alright, isn't she? We saw the moons move and the eclipse end, but we haven't heard what happened after you entered the Moon Gate. After I was caught in that dragon blast, Zamorak tended to my wounds and took command of the soldiers defending the upper ridge. I'm sorry to say that I was in and out of consciousness for most of what happened next. I know that I am still alive and grateful to be back in Rimmon. It's a miracle, thank the moons, that the city is free once more. If you want to know what really occurred at the Moon Gate, you'll need to ask Zamorak and Prefect Kelo. There are those among the troops who need the healers more than I. But perhaps a few hours in the soothing springs will restore my strength. I'll need it too. I have much to do to help Khamira restore Anequina to its former glory.
Zamorak is happy to see you, friend. After the dragons entered the Moon Gate and you followed, this one worried that all was lost. But then, the moons parted, and suddenly everything seemed all right. Just what you would expect. We held our ground against the swarming Euraxians and their necromancers, repelled the dragons as best we could. This one let the desert wind flow through his limbs and claws, while our soldiers rallied to his side. Between the Khajiit militia and the Cygnus irregulars, we held them off. When the moons separated, the Euraxians broke off their attack and scattered to the four winds. The remainder will be a nuisance, but they pose no threat to the kingdom. Zamorak doesn't know for certain. We faced mostly the Euraxians on the upper ridge. Prefect Kelo commanded the ballisti, so he could tell you more. This one does know that when the moons began to separate, the dragons roared in rage and flew away. Zamorak hopes to serve as Queen Khamira's claw and defend the throne as he was trained to do. If she will not have me, well, Gareshri has many plans for improving life in Elsweyr. This one would be happy to help in any way he can.
Huh? Oh, it's you. Good to see you still among the living. I suppose you had a hand in getting the moons to finally pull apart? Hang on, I need to finish my report. I find that it's best to write it all down while it's still fresh in my mind. It's all in my report. Our troops held their ground and fought bravely. We lost many good soldiers, Khajiit and Imperial, but we did our duty. We slaughtered Euraxians by the score and kept the dragons at bay until the moons broke apart. It was crucial to our survival. When the moons separated, the dragons broke ranks. They seemed to lose their drive, their purpose. They stopped attacking and flew off. Not a moment too soon. We had exhausted both our strength and our ammunition. The ones that survived Zamorak's charge lost what remained of their courage when the dragons abandoned the field of battle. They scattered like sand roaches and ran in all directions. I doubt they'll give the militia too much trouble going forward. We still have a lot to do to heal the scars left by Eurasia and her mercenaries. I'll offer our services to Queen Khamira and Lord Gareshri. Let them use us where we'll do the most good. If that's what they need. But the Cygnus Irregulars are mostly military engineers, scouts, and trainers. We have a lot more to offer a kingdom that needs to be rebuilt than just blades and shields. That was our original mission, to help Elsweyr.
Outsider, this one must speak with you. This one never expected to set foot in the capital of Anequina again. She hoped the militia would succeed, but she didn't believe they stood a chance against the usurper queen. Kashia understands you played a significant role in these events, yes? Such wonders you have accomplished, and to have touched the face of blessed Jode. This one is in awe. Despite all that, the Main has sent me to determine what happens next. Where is Lord Gareshri, the Speaker of the Main? The healers? This one hopes the Speaker wasn't gravely injured. As for your question, we must settle the matter of Anequina's succession. Kashia must determine if Khamira is the legitimate heir to the throne, and if so, recognize her claim. Certainly, but anyone can make such a claim. To be accepted by the Khajiit, she must be recognized by the Main. With Gareshri indisposed, will you stand with Khamira and vouch for her heritage? If so, please tell her I am ready to meet with her. Before you return to Khamira's side, this one requests an additional favor. The Main gave Kashia a sealed letter for Abner Tharn, but he refuses to see me. I understand that you and he share a special bond. Perhaps you could deliver the letter. The specifics concern the Tharn alone, but this one believes it deals with the artificial eclipse and its impact on Khajiit society. The moons hold great sway over the Khajiit born under them. What does this mean for those born during this eclipse? No matter what caused the eclipse, Joan and Jode joined as one. When this occurs naturally, one born then may become the next Main. But during a false eclipse, succession becomes a concern. The Main hopes Tharn can explain the arcane implications. The Main cannot be everywhere at once. That is what the Speaker and the envoys are for. For now, the Main's duties do not include Anequina. But know that the Main's heart is everywhere in Elsweyr. Now, please deliver the letter to Abner Tharn.
Abner, you simply must stay for the ceremony. It's not every day we get to see a lovely cat receive a crown.
Nonsense. And don't call me Abner. Besides, I think I've overstayed my welcome as far as Khamira is concerned. You and Cadwell, the two of you just can't leave well enough alone. No one was supposed to notice as I slipped out of Rimmon. Of course, very little has gone according to plan since the Wrathstone tablets set me on this path. I am neither sentimental nor enamoured of pomp and circumstance. My time in Elsweyr has shown me that I have limits. I am not the battle mage I was in my younger days. Besides, I hate parties, small talk, speeches, canapés, totally unbearable. I watched firsthand as a remarkable young woman became a leader. She's already a queen. Everything else is simply ceremony. I've lingered here long enough. You were an able enough travelling companion. I may call on you again sometime. An intriguing question. Are Khajiit born under a forced eclipse next in line for the main? But this other bit confirms my suspicions. I must travel to Palatine at once. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Until then, farewell. We accomplished much, but I fear we haven't seen the last of Calgrontide. I must investigate reports coming from the south. You, however, have a queen to crown. Take Cadwell with you and make sure he behaves. And tell Khamira she did admirably. We saw no body, and there's no reason to suppose Calgrontide couldn't escape from Jode just as we did. He absorbed a remarkable amount of energy while the moons were aligned, after all. I'll send for you if and when I confirm my suspicions.
I assure you, Tasha, my wounds are healing quite nicely.
Nevertheless, this one has asked the Outlander to stand beside Khamira, should I decide to give the Main's blessing.
Gareshri told me you found them. He filled me in on what happened during the battle at the Moongate. Dragons and necromancers, I understand. But politics and coronations, they twist my tail, and the regalia. It pinches. Moons, I miss my leathers. I am having many thoughts, but I know what I must do. Like Anequina and my other ancestors before me, I must stand tall and accept my responsibilities with humility and grace. Provided the Main's envoy confirms my right to the throne. The woman is inscrutable. I think she just wants to see me suffer until she acquiesces and places the crown on my head. Before the full weight of the kingdom falls upon my shoulders, I want to tell you something. I want you to know I appreciate everything you have done for Elsweyr. For me. I do not believe we would have survived without your assistance. Now, I understand the envoy asked you to stand beside me at the ceremony. Are you ready, my friend?
Five Claw, a word. The healers were able to do wonders, my friend. I almost feel like my old self again. I will secure Khamira's claim. You just stand beside her and support her. She values your presence, as do I. But where is Khamira? I expected you to bring her in.
Who will confirm that Khamira is the daughter of King Hemekar and the rightful heir to the throne of Anequina?
I will. As her guardian all these years, and as the Speaker of the Main, Khamira is the rightful heir. Come forth, daughter of Hemekar and Numara. Come forth, child of Anequina.
Khamira, do you accept the duties of the throne? Will you lead this kingdom and protect its people?
I do, and I will.
Know then that the Main accepts and recognizes your claim. All hail Khamira, Queen of Anequina!
I promise to serve our people, and I offer thanks to all who helped achieve our recent victories. Finally, there is one I wish to honor. One whose assistance in these matters was unprecedented and invaluable. Five Claw, my comrade and friend, please, approach the throne. Courageous Five Claw, I will make sure your deeds are sung by my people. They will be told from one generation to the next. As Kunzari passed into legend, so too will you. Then say nothing, my friend. Just know that you helped deliver my homeland from tyranny. You helped me avenge my parents. You saved us from dragons and undead. We will never forget that. I will never forget that. You appeared when Elsweyr needed you most. In our most desperate time of troubles, you helped restore our nation. You will always have a place here, my friend. And I want you to accept the greatest award I can offer. I name you Champion of Anequina. There are still dragons to kill and Euraxians to deal with, but now it is time to celebrate. Take a few moments, talk to our friends, then enjoy yourself, champion. You earned it. It is time for different adventures, Five Claw. I must lead my people and erase the memories of the usurper queen. May her name be blotted from the histories. Of course, I may find time to slip away and explore a ruin or two. Every now and again. Just what you would expect. I listen to problems and I try to find solutions. I suppose I must coordinate with our allies in the Dominion at some point, and there are still stray dragons and Euraxian deserters to deal with. So, the usual things.
I came to Northen Elsweyr with an impossible task. I took command of the militia and sought to free Rimmon from Euraxia's grasp. With your help, we accomplished so much more. You have my thanks for that, champion. As always, I go wherever the Main needs me. For a while, I remain in Rimmon to provide Queen Khamira with whatever assistance she requires. You know, I watched Khamira grow these past 6 years. She will be a better queen than even I imagined.
Wasn't that a beautiful ceremony? Not quite on the level of the time I attended Molon Ball's first Daedric Titan unveiling and Soul Shriven Impalement celebration, but beautiful, just the same. Next, having given it a thought, it's enough trouble keeping track of the past and present to bother with what happens in the future. Maybe I'll finally build that little house on the edge of Cold Harbor's yawning chasm. Ah, the vertigo. Well, certainly, eventually. It's my home. Besides, who would all the Soul Shriven look up to if I never returned? Have no fear, my friend. If you ever need Cadwell's sword again, I'll rush to your side without hesitation. You have my word.
All hail the greatest diplomatic assistant in Tamriel! Let us celebrate our accomplishments by drinking mead and exchanging friendly headbutts. Rigert will go wherever the winds of diplomacy take him, friend. Rigert refuses to rest.
Thank you for helping to restore the bloodline of Anequina, Walker. It is good to see a Khajiit once again on the throne of Rimmon. Gashia apologizes for all the formality, but she had to be sure before she bestowed the Main's blessing upon Khamira.
I'm glad that the Cygnus Irregulars were able to lend Queen Khamira our support. Helped make up for all the evil Eurasia brought with her to Elsweyr. Now where's the music? I didn't spend the last 6 years learning Khajiit waltzes for nothing. I hate the idea of mercenary companies, but without an imperial government in place, that seems to be what we're reduced to. Luckily, Khamira has accepted our offer of assistance and has agreed to employ us. As engineers and aid workers, of course. A few. You'd be surprised how many of their dances can't be accomplished without claws or a tail. I do hope they play the waxing moon, though. I find it rather elegant, and it's the one best suited to my tailless posterior.
This one's heart sings at seeing Khamira crowned queen. Her parents would have been so proud. Thank you, my friend, for getting us to this moment, and for helping Zamorak find his way back to his true calling. Zamorak will always be an adept, but Queen Khamira has agreed to accept me as her claw. This one will protect the queen and serve her as best he can. It is what Zamorak was born to do, yes?
haven't been able to sleep all week. Please, can't you do something?
Of course. I'll have the town guards investigate tonight.
Thank you, Magnate Fena Darak.
And who do we have here? Come, let us speak. Welcome to the town of Hakoshe. I must say it is not often I see a new face. Have you perhaps come to take part in our festival? The Proving Festival, yes. Through a series of trials, the people of Hakoshe must prove themselves to their ancestors. We do so by completing 3 trials, otherwise known as the 3 proofs. First, the proof of reference calls on our ancestors to witness our deeds. Second, the proof of strength displays our might and bravery. Lastly, the proof of wisdom tests our knowledge and wit. Through these trials, we show our worth. Of course, I'm sure you too have ancestors you wish to honor. First, you must speak with Domitia Nasica. You'll find her just by the river. Listen well to her words, for she will guide you through your first trial. Let me know if you have any other questions. I realize that Hakoshe can be quite a curiosity for travelers such as yourself. Nothing to worry about. Domitia just hasn't been sleeping well. She believes there's something prowling around her house at night. I suspect it to be just bad dreams. Of course, I'd never dismiss a citizen who seeks my aid. Having the town guards investigate will help ease Domitia's fears. That alone may be enough to stop her nightmares. And if the dreams continue, I'll make sure she's seen by a healer. Though Hakoshe is known for its Akaviri ancestry, the truth is that our imperial bloodline runs far richer. Still, we honor our Akaviri ancestors by maintaining some of their customs. The Proving Festival is a shining example of that. I hold the title of Magnate, though I have no emperor who supports me. Still, my family has led Hakoshe since its founding, and chose to take the title to reflect that role. It has been my honor to lead this town for over 10 years now, because it was our family who founded it. My ancestors wished to create a place of safety and peace, where Akaviri traditions could continue to be passed down and honored. A goal I still strive to respect to this day. Yes, as is my family's tradition. We tend to keep closer to our Akaviri heritage than most. I even speak a little of the language, though I suspect my accent is quite atrocious.
Oh, you're that traveler I saw earlier. Do you need something? Truly? That was certainly nice of her. Your first step is to complete the Proof of Reverence. This trial allows us to call upon our ancestors to watch over us, as we prove ourselves worthy of their name. With this paper lotus, write the names of your honored ancestors on its petals, and place the lotus in the river. This will allow it to float into the afterlife. Think of it like a calling card, a way to get your ancestors to pay attention. Return to me when you've completed your task. Oh, and feel free to ask any questions you may have. This is Hakoshe's first Proving Festival in over a century, after all. I'm sure you're just as curious as everyone else. Excited, of course. Honestly, I'm shocked we gave up the tradition in the first place. No one even remembered the festival existed until the magnate found an old record about it. Our town doesn't have much wealth or power, but we do take pride in our ancestry. Learning about our Akaviri culture and celebrating it is important to us. And the Proving Festival is the perfect way to do just that. Before we can prove ourselves to our ancestors, we must first get their attention. The paper lotus acts as a ceremonial letter of sorts. By placing it into the river, we allow it to be carried into the realm of the dead. Yes, it is. The Akaviri believe that all waterways connect the realms of the living and dead. There are many folktales about boats being lost in heavy fog and landing on shores filled with restless spirits. I used to when I was little. Whenever I would go jump in a puddle, my mother would yell, "Stop that! You'll fall right into the afterlife." Truthfully, though, she just didn't want my dress to get muddy. Excited, of course. Honestly. Through this proof, you have shown reverence. Well done. Next is the proof of strength. You'll need to... I'm sorry. I'm just so tired today. There's been a lot of strange noises at night lately, and I haven't slept very well. You overheard that? Ah, well, yes. I've started hearing noises at night. Heavy breathing, uneven footsteps that seem to shuffle about. At first I thought I was dreaming it all. But now I am not too sure. I don't, though the magnate has promised to send a patrol out tonight. Hopefully they'll